Hi guys, and welcome to another gum chewing ASMR. Now this was requested by my good friend Kuau. Today I'm going to be talking about the Silent Hill game series. In 1999, the video game Silent Hill came out. It is a similar game to Resident Evil, but the difference is, for me anyway, Silent Hill had a much darker feel, and the thing that stood out was the fact that it didn't have static backgrounds like Resident Evil. With Resident Evil, you're sort of running through static backgrounds, which looked amazing, but with Silent Hill, it's actually a proper 3D environment. And also, what I really loved about it was the fact that you had this torch on you, and you got what they call donuts on the camera lens. You know, when you shine a light on a camera lens, you get all these like circles. You got that, which really added a lot more atmosphere to it for me. So for me it kind of looked a lot better in a way, because it was much more alive, you know. So it did look amazing. Also, what was superb was the music. The guy that composed the music was, I think his name's Akira Kamoka. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right, but he's a fantastic musician, and I'd never heard such creepy music, because it's the process he was using. I know, because I'm a musician myself and I record a lot. And you were sort of getting, how you'd do it is you'd get like a note, sort of some kind of sound, and you drop it right down the scale, so that it was really low. And it works so well, the sound, you know, music was just incredible. And I remember hearing that and thinking, wow, the sound on this game, the music in this game is just fantastic. Yeah, so I was really sort of drawn into this. It was, I can't remember if it came out before or after Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 was fantastic, of course, and you also had Dino Crisis. But Silent Hill came out, and it wasn't just a sort of Resident Evil rip-off. It was something that stood alone, which is why I really liked it. If you was a Resident Evil fan, you'd love it, but you wouldn't just sit there and go, oh, it's a Resident Evil copy. It really isn't. So that's why I loved it so much. It was like such a good game. And it's basically a very simple sort of story, really. It's you're a character called Harry, who is driving along with his daughter, his young daughter, this car crash. And then Harry sort of regains consciousness in the car, and his daughter is missing. So, it's basically Harry who has just regained consciousness in this town called Silent Hill. And he's searching basically for his daughter. There'll be a few spoilers in this, guys, so if you've never played the game, cover your ears now. But it basically turns out there's like a cult in this town, and the daughter is needed to resurrect a god. That's basically what it's about. But you know, it had snow, and the snow looked fantastic. You're running around in the snow and you really get this sense of cold. And as I was saying, you know, the 3D environments and camera angles really looked superb. But what I loved, I think probably more than anything with this game, as I said, the music. I'd never heard anything like it before. It was so good, so atmospheric and creepy that yeah, it really put you on edge. And it was also a very strange, sort of weird game. It had like these very sort of weird creatures in it, which really made it. There's one part you go to a school, and there's like these little ghostly sort of children. I don't even know if they're children. They're just like little tiny things walking around squeaking, and you think, wow, you know, it's just so weird. And where it's dark as well, you know, and you've got the torch. Really creepy. But the thing that got me most with this game was the puzzles. The puzzles in Silent Hill are absolutely fantastic. The school, by the way, was based on the Astoria school in Kindergarten Cop. Kindergarten Cop, the school in that is what they based the school on in Silent Hill too. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's like, it's the second puzzle you come across. You come in, it's basically a music room, and there's a piano, and there's some blood on the keys of the piano, and you can play the notes. Some will play the note, some will just make a clunk, and you have this riddle on the wall, which I did look for, but I couldn't find it. Otherwise I'd have put it up, but it's something like a tale of birds without voices or something like that. And it's like the pelican flies higher than the crow, and the dove lands next to the swan, and so you basically have to press the keys on the piano keyboard in the right order. And I remember Resident Evil game. Never had a problem. Even with the water sample puzzle on Resident Evil 3. But he was stuck on this piano puzzle. So he said to me, here's the keyboard. Some of the notes play, some of them don't, so I made him tell me what ones played, what ones didn't. And I wrote down the puzzle. And I was sort of looking at it and I thought, not really too sure, obviously, you know. Got to press them in a certain order. But eventually, I got a text message from him. He said, I'd done it, I worked it out, but this was about an hour later. I then get another call from him about 2 hours later, and he was stuck on another puzzle. So that sort of made this game a little bit more special because the puzzles were like so good. And I remember my other nephew playing it about 6 months later, and he did the same thing. He sent me a text message saying, I don't know how the hell I do this piano puzzle. He said, I'm stuck. And everyone that I knew that played this game got stuck on that piano puzzle. It's like an infamous puzzle, but so good. I then remember my friend, he was a friend of my stepson's, and I got to know him. He was a really cool guy, and he would come over at the weekends and after school, and I'd always talk to him. He was like really cool, and he just bought Silent Hill, and you were like, oh, I can't wait to play this. And again, he got stuck on the piano puzzle, I think, as everyone did. But then he's come home one night, or come back to mine with my stepson, and he said, oh, I'm stuck on this. He said, I just do not know what to do. I said, we'll bring it round on Saturday. So okay. So he brought it round, and it was a part where you'll pick up a camera later on, earlier on in the game, and then later on in the game you come across this painting on the wall. That's where he was stuck. He couldn't progress. So I went into the inventory and used the camera, which then takes a photo of the painting, and the flash hits it and gives you I think it's a code or something that comes up on it. And he went, oh my goodness. So was that it? But it was things like that. It was those sort of things that make the game so good. It's also at the very beginning of the game when you play it. You go into this alleyway where you're trapped, you're cornered. You're just cornered in this alley, and the camera is right above, goes over the top of you, and all these monsters all come in and they kill you. There were so many people that thought that was the game over and that they had to do it again and turned it off. They said, oh, I got to that part and I kept dying, so I switched it off in the end. It was all part of the game, guys. You got killed and then you come round. It was all part of like a dream sequence, but a lot of people thought it was the actual game and got killed and thought, oh, I've got killed, I'm not doing it again. So that was Silent Hill. You also had, there was multiple endings, good endings and bad endings. First time I played it, I got a bad ending, scene. So yeah, it was. I mean, what I'd call like a sort of adult game, really. It was proper horror. Not that Resident Evil wasn't, but it was like very, very psychological, and I really loved it. Anyway, that was in 1999 when the PlayStation 2 came out. Obviously the graphics were better, and in 2000, I think it was 2001, Silent Hill 2 came out, and I thought, oh hell yeah, I'm definitely getting this. Anyway, I bought it, and this, guys, is my favourite game of all time. Without question, I love Resident Evil. It's my favourite game series. But I think the best game of all time is Silent Hill 2. This was a character called James, whose wife had died a few years ago, and all of a sudden he's got this letter from her saying that she's waiting for him in Silent Hill. So he's very confused, because she died. She had a disease and she died. But he had taken her to Silent Hill for like sort of vacations. And so the game basically is you trying to find your wife. And it's like, well, is she dead? Is she not dead? And again, you sort of meet. This is where Silent Hill 2 is just so you just don't really know exactly. You never know what is going on in it properly, because the monsters in it represent things, which again, spoilers, guys. There's a monster in it called Pyramid Head. Now he symbolises I won't give too much away, but it symbolises James causing someone's death. Okay, that's as far as I'll go. And everyone that's there, like adult, I've all gone through something. There's a woman in it called Angela who was abused by her father, and that's one of the bosses that you have to fight, and it's this sort of bed. It sort of symbolises her father and the abuse, and yeah, that's basically what I really liked about it. Is everything symbolises something. There's also a little girl in it who is pretty much safe. She don't see no monsters, and that's because she had never killed anyone, had never done any harm to anybody. She was just in the hospital with James's wife. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's almost like they're in this, everybody is in this hell, trying to get out. And it's just so cool. I actually wrote a song which is about Silent Hill 2, because I just love the game so much. And again, multiple endings, a lot of multiple endings. So it all depends on choices you make, actions you take, things you do, that determines the end of these games. I tell you guys, if you have never played Silent Hill or Silent Hill 2, they're just the two I'm going to stick to for now. I will do another one of these with Silent Hill 3 and 4. this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And remember to hit that notifications bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. I really appreciate all your support, guys. Keep the comments coming. Keep the questions coming too. I will be doing more Q&As. Really appreciate your support. You're fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna go. But in the meantime, have yourselves